Hello out there in YouTube. We are the middle-aged guys, and we bullshit, well, about a lot of things. I am the Reverend.
The theme here.
Gray Mouse 1.
March 3rd, 2017 is come and gone. People who are able to actually go ahead and get their hands on the Switch have one. They've been able to play one. Then they've been enjoying Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild is a game with the highest attach rate and everything else. And it's been received, by and large, very, very well. At this moment in time, it is the fastest-selling console for Nintendo in both North and South America, in Australia, and in Spain, as Spain and the UK. So they have beat out all previous sales records for a console from Nintendo, beating out the Wii, basically by outpacing it, outdoing the number of units that it sold during the first week by something like a full 40%. I believe right now the count, I think, is something in around, correct me if I'm wrong, Gray Mouse, it's something like 500,000 units sold within 3 days, right? 500,000 units sold in 3 days, okay? And like I said, they went ahead, they were able to cover both North and South America, Australia, the UK and Spain. Rest of Europe and the rest of Asia will be clocking in shortly, probably reporting that they're also sold out all over the place. So, to say the least, the launch has been pretty much successful. Now, that's not to say that it hasn't been uneventful. This particular device is proven to be quite polarizing to some people. All right? If not with the hardware itself, with some of the shortcomings and issues, and yes, it does have issues, but also with its most popular game, Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. What we're going to go ahead and talk about in this particular video is that we're going to talk about some of the things that have come up as far as impressions. We'll be able to give you our own impressions. I myself own one. Gray Mouse, he has one also. And then also our thoughts and impressions of some of the issues that have come up over the last few days from Switch owners, out in the wild. All right? To start off, the Switch, as far as it goes, like I said, has been one of the most successful launches. It's broken sales records in the majority of the markets that are out there. And its biggest selling title at this moment in time is Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. It is also one of the highest rated ever games on Metacritic. I believe it's sitting at 98% still right now,
Yep.
which keeps it in good company. I believe other games that are at a 98% Metacritic encompass things like, let's see here, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2,
Yep. Legend
Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time, I think Grand Theft Auto 4. It's a very, very small group. There's only 5 other games that actually share that spot on Metacritic. Well, a lot of people within the gaming community took umbrance with that. Okay, for some reason, they started going out of their way, and they started a movement saying that Nintendo was paying off critics. All right, that they were fixing the game, and that they were paying off all these critics and everything else. It sounds really familiar to the DC fans saying that Marvel and Disney was buying all of the movie critics and stuff like that. And because of that, they started this whole campaign where the user reviews went out of their way, and they started going out of their way and rating the game 0 on Metacritic on the user review side. Some of the reviewers openly saying that they never even played the fucking game.
Yep.
All right. My thoughts on this one could probably be summed up in a word: bullshit. But this video includes other people other than myself, so I'm going to open up the floor. What are you guys' thoughts on the backlash for the great big Zelda reception?
Gray Mouse, go.
All right. Very simple. The user base was at 9.7 or 97, and then this gang of movement brought it down to 7.5 at this moment because of all the zeros at the bottom. If you sort it, you put the zeros, at the top or whatever to read it. Some of them he openly admitted, like the Reverend said, that having played the game, they just don't want the game better than their Call of Duty or their other game, whatever they decide. And to correct you, actually, Reverend, the Ocarina of Time is the highest, which is 99.
Okay.
Everybody else is below that. The Breath of the Wild never made it up there. There's a couple more critic reviews that haven't came in yet, but they're saying that there's really no possibility of it going up another point. But it really sat bad for fanboys that they didn't understand why this game rated so high, and it just being fanboys that my game is better than your game. It's unacceptable that Breath of the Wild got a 98, and it just blows my fucking mind. And like you said before, it's bullshit. This is ridiculous.
What about you, Theme? I know you went ahead and you've given the graces for us to go ahead and make our thoughts.
The reason
what do you think
why I
about
wanted
that?
you guys to go first is because you two actually own the game. You two actually own the system. I'm the odd man out as far as that. And that's by choice for now because I don't get systems at launch. But for you to have your issues with a game that you've never even played, that you've never even touched the fucking controller, that you've never even had the fucking system, is total bullshit. I don't understand how fanboys can go that fucking far. Okay, look. Everyone in this room has played Halo. Everyone in this room has played Battlefield. Everyone in this room has played Call of Duty. Everyone in this room has played GoldenEye, Perfect Dark, etc. Doom, Wolfenstein. Look, we got the first person case covered. So you qualify as far as saying how all of them are different, how all of them are similar, and how all of them fare as going against each other. We wouldn't be fanboys about that. Regardless of what love or hate that we have for the games, we can say that we played them. We can say that we actually enjoyed them or not, and we will give reasoning as such. And that's what pisses me off about certain fanboys that do this type of bullshit. You have a rating for a fucking game that you never even fucking touch just because you're against Zelda or you're against Nintendo or you're against the fact that this game got better ratings than what you worship as far as the fucking gaming industry. If you're a gamer, just play fucking video games. Why the fuck do you even care? That's one of my biggest concerns and questions here. You mean to tell me that you suck dick of a fucking game, of your fucking genre, of your fucking console of choice so fucking much that you are willing to downplay all these other motherfuckers that have played the game, that own the game, that can actually go into detail on why this shit's good and why you should try it out and why it's one of the best games that came out in 2017 so far. It's ridiculous.
A lot of people are upset because people's been using that best game ever. I mean, that was written on the critic side where actual critics have actually said that best game ever. But
okay, look, we've heard that with Halos, we've heard that with Call of Duties, we heard that with Final Fantasies. Get over it. Get the fuck over it. Or play the fucking game and see what they talk about. And if you have your gripes, then issue those gripes in detail as far as saying, okay, but you know what? No, I got to retract that because people won't even open their fucking minds. They'll fucking play it not liking shit already, and they'll nitpick every fucking detail.
And they've done that.
I'm going to say this honestly. The game so far, as far as what I've seen, I've enjoyed it a lot. And as far as what I've seen, as far as what I've heard from other reviewers, other reviewers that I know are level-headed, all right, or other players that I know are level-headed that are able to point out flaws, it has its flaws, okay? I think, personally myself, if there's a game that you know, you're just isn't you, I would readily accept saying, I'm not going to get around to that game, so I really can't say. But when it goes out, when you go out of your way and say, oh, this game's a fucking 0 because I want to go ahead and fuck around with it commercially, all right, and I've never even played the fucking thing, well, that does bother me, all right. Here's the thing, all right. This whole my dad could beat up your dad bullshit, all right, is exactly that. That's some preschool, all right, playground bullshit, all right. Really, it is. Okay. I'm just gonna tell you right now, my dad would win because he'd just shoot your dad. I know this from experience. Okay.
Look, yeah, I know his dad, so yeah.
All right. Like I said, I can't wrap my head around it. But the thing is that this particular thing, let's just be fair here. The Switch and Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild came in on a lot of anticipation, a lot of hype. Okay, I get that. All right. In fact, my pre-order was very much on accident because of that hype. All right, and anticipation. And these guys know exactly what I'm talking about. It was very much on accident. All right. Now the whole thing about it though is that when it comes to this, whenever you have a lot of hype, there's always going to be a lot of backlash against it, especially when it turns out that, oh crap, this is actually something successful and good. Because a lot of the criticisms and a lot of the backlash on the Switch, not just Legend of Zelda, has actually, come down and it's touched down on people's reception of the actual console itself. There are a lot of issues, there are a lot of technical issues that are well documented, and a lot of them are very, very valid. Like the whole thing with the Joy-Con losing sync for a lot of people, that's definitely well documented. The fact that the inside of the dock isn't lined with something soft, so it'll prevent scratching the screen, that's also a real issue, and that's also well documented. With the amount of time that I've had with this, the fact that it doesn't charge the Joy-Cons unless you put it in sleep mode instead of power off annoyed the shit out of me to no end. For the fact that after I set it up, I just left it in power off mode. And I came back to it and I saw that nothing was fucking charged. That pissed me off, okay? Well, it's just one of those things.
But okay, that's a knock against the console.
And on that end,
knocks are valid.
But another thing too is that what you should, I kind of already knew, being that I have a PlayStation 4, and the only way to charge a PlayStation 4 controller is in sleep
mode. Yeah.
So I kind of already knew that. But
it pissed me off with the PS4 also, but I'll just say that right now.
If people are already, is already used to it? Yeah, I got mine here too. If people are already used to charging their PlayStation 4 controllers in sleep mode, then that wasn't much of a glare.
Well, the thing about it is, wait a minute. You would expect Nintendo to look at that past technology and get past that. That's one of the gripes. It's like, wait, damn it. I thought you were going to be above your
12 years
shit that's already out.
No, it's not that. It's the fact that the tablet itself actually charges in power off mode if you have it hooked up to power, okay? Yeah. And everything's hooked up to the tablet, so it didn't make sense to me that way.
Guys. You know damn well they'll fix everything when they come out with the Switch Slim.
Well,
it can't get no more slimmer than it already is.
They'll find a way.
This is my fucking phone.
Yeah.
We weren't covered the comparison.
Switch Mobile, it's coming.
But that, like I said, that's not to say that some of these complaints aren't valid. All right. The one thing that kills me about
Switch Mobile, and they're going to be SIM cards this time instead of the fucking
But the thing that kills me about a lot of the I saw a lot of like first impressions and unboxings and people were making criticisms is that I like a lot of the YouTubers that I subscribe to and that I follow, but they are not engineers. And they're sitting there, they're pointing out things that I'm like, well, if you're sitting there, you're trying to engineer and design something for mass market that you actually want to make money on, do you have an alternative to what they did? And I will bet you dollars to donuts, the only person that I think will ever get around to doing that is Ben Heck, if he decides to go ahead and get a hold of the Switch and tear it down. All right, he might have like, you know, valid engineering suggestions for changing things up as far as it goes, but your Jim Sterlings, your Angry Joes, your RGT 85s, and your Boogies, guess what? They do not have engineering backgrounds. All right, and their criticism.
I mean, it's valid.
With that in mind, it kind of like I can tell you right now, I could not stop rolling my eyes through half of the fucking unboxings and evaluations and criticisms that they had. But that's just me. All right.
With the criticisms of Nintendo, I mean, the only thing that I found was just how flimsy it is when it's in portable mode. I mean, I'm sure there's a reason for that, but
well, I don't know if you can call it flimsy, but it is a small device. This is something that I know. Okay, look, this is not something you're going to give to a fucking kid. Let me just say that right now. If you are a parent thinking that you're going to go ahead and spend $300 to go ahead and give this to a child, get them a 2DS instead, all right? Please. Spend the $79 and get them a 2DS instead, all right? Yes. Do not give them this, okay? Because this will end up broken, all right? Like, the thing that struck me really, really odd is people are saying, oh, yeah, but you can scratch the screen and it's plastic. I understand, you know. Yeah, I would have loved if they would have used Gorilla Glass for this, but guess what? It would have shot up the price by another $50 to $100 on this.
Yeah,
to go ahead and do that. But look, it's a fucking touch screen. Of course, you're going to need a fucking screen protector.
Wait. In my job, all right. Look, I see cracked screens every fucking day by adults. This is with phones. This is with tablets and some TVs. Mm-hmm. Okay, you think, how the fuck does that happen? And just take care of your shit. All right, we all have portable consoles. Has any of them cracked?
Well, here's the thing with that. All right, I know shit can happen inadvertently that you're not planning for. But guess what?
Okay.
But let me finish my point. But because I know things happen inadvertently, that's the reason why I have this thick ass fucking protective thing on my phone.
That's what I was about to say. That's what I was about to say. Look, protect. And I know that's a pricing point. Yeah, you got this, and now you got to fucking protect it. I do understand it. But
I don't understand that. I'm going to go ahead and I'll explain why. Go ahead.
But my point is, if you just bought this $300 device or higher, then you might as well spend an extra fucking $50 or $25 or whatever to fucking protect it.
It's $6.99 for a screen protector.
Yeah.
You know, to bring this back, that was a lot of the criticism, too, of the Nintendo Switch that people were complaining about, and people were complaining that they just don't like Nintendo. Nintendo's a kids system, and then the Nintendo Switch is not a kids system. And if I recall correctly, all those trailers that we had about the Nintendo Switch, there was not a child in that. In those,
no, fuck that. I'm going to stop this right now. Look, anyone that says that, just because you see Mario, just because you see Kirby or whatever, some of those games have not been beaten by fucking adults. If you say that Nintendo is just kitty shit, there are certain those games that have not been beaten by grown ass people.
But no,
here's the thing too. With a lot of those players who say that this is just kiddie stuff, these are the same guys who are holding on to the same prepubescent middle school fucking attitude that saying fuck or seeing titties on screen means that it's mature. No, that just means that somebody's saying fuck and there are titties on screen. That's it.
It goes back to rating Zelda.
Wait. So
literally downvoted Zelda because it was a kid's game and they don't like Nintendo. It wasn't that they played the game. They didn't like Nintendo. They don't want to see Nintendo succeed. So I was reading some of the
They're complaining about this is a kid console and they're doing kiddie fanboy shit.
Wait, look. I've seen it on there. I've seen the fucking the people were writing that shit like, I don't like Nintendo. Nintendo's kiddie shit, and Nintendo should quit console and go to third party rather.
You've seen that for years.
And I was like, you guys are idiots. And it just goes, you know, to bring this thing full circle. The fanboys, you know, it's just. But the good thing is that Metacritic has I think they leveled it out now because they've deleted a lot of the comments and stuff.
No, Metacritic's always been split up between the professional scores and then the user scores. All right, there are certain games that you'll find that fall in line where it's professional scores fall in line with the user scores. But it's funny because you see like majority of the popular AAA titles will usually have this wide fucking gap between professional scores and user scores because, well, somebody has to sit there and get on their fucking high horse or they have to sit there and they got to sit there and chop other people down at the fucking knees to go ahead and start doling out zeros because, oh, I don't like this particular game. Which, hey, look, that's fine. That's your prerogative. But let's just face the facts. If you're sitting there, you're saying that you're going to give it 0 and you haven't even played the game. You're just being dishonest. All right? Guess what? Your review on Metacritic as a user, as a 0, if you say that you've never played the game, you're pretty much telling somebody, label me a liar, label me an asshole because I don't know what the fuck I'm talking
about. Not just dishonest, but again, you're complaining that Nintendo is for kids, but you're doing childish shit like that.
Look, I was looking into some of those zeros. Those motherfuckers did not. They have one rating, and guess what that rating was?
Breath of the Wild, yeah.
And they rated it a 0. So they have no say whatsoever. They just created an account just to
downrate the game.
But let's, I will say that that's just kind of, without having to sit there and really jump into a deeper debate or deeper conversation about a lot of the social media aspects of being online, how that transfers over and everything else. That's kind of indicative of other stupid shit that's really, really way more prevalent than people can even imagine. All right. But look, if you're one of those people who've done that, fuck you. Literally. All right. Fuck you up the ass with a red hot fire poker. All right. Tipped with hot sauce and sandpaper. Okay. But if you ever come around to the time where you have an opportunity to go ahead and play the game, sit down and play the game. I don't care if it's on fucking Switch or the Wii U. Sit down and play the game.
Play the shit. Because I'm thoroughly interested. I will get around to it. But I'm not going to just say, look, I'm not the biggest Zelda fan. I will openly admit that. I'm not even, look, but fuck. I want to play good fucking games because I'm a fucking gamer.
Yeah.
That's just the bottom line here. I don't give a fuck about. Again, we don't play video game systems, we play video games.
Yeah.
So fuck the whole fanboyism thing. I mean, fuck, it all comes down to the great ass games. And giving it a 0, and you haven't even fucking, you're gonna rate it beneath Nintendo Superman 64? Are you kidding me?
I mean, people were grading it 0s. They played it and they still rated it 0, just because.
Well, I can't say for that. But the thing is that it's with a lot of those, it's very obvious that they were trying to push toward an agenda. All right, which, like I said, continuing on this particular thread would probably open up a much larger conversation. Now, that's not to say that there aren't very legitimate issues with the Switch right now. There are certain things that have come up. We've seen the YouTube video where the guy's screen is all fucked up. People's switches not turning on and stuff like that. There's one thing I have to say with anything that is mass produced. Yes, you are going to see issues and defects that are coming out. All right.
I was just about to say that happens to every fucking console.
Yeah, that happens to every console. I mean, here's the thing. It's one thing to sit there and see like. Issues happening with the first batch, all right? Because guess what? Part of the reason why I don't get consoles at launch 11 out of 12 times is that
11 out of 12.
Yeah, seriously, 11 out of 12 times. I was about to say 9 out of 10, but it's more like 11 out of 12 times, all right? Is that the first batch consoles that are out for the early adopters, the early adopters are really free hardware testing, all right? It's the second or third batch that's usually going to be the better ones that are going to be a lot more reliable and stuff like that, okay? Now, it's a much bigger issue that if in the fourth, fifth, and sixth batch, the same fucking issue is happening over and over again until you do a complete different hardware redesign. Microsoft, all right. If that's the fucking case, then that's an issue that, guess what? That's the type of thing that a lot of people have to go out of their way to sit there and say, hey, look, this is straight bullshit, all right? Now, the one thing that has come up is that there have been reports of Switches out there with dead pixels on screen, okay? I will say this as somebody who has worked quality assurance, all right? It doesn't matter if it's an LED screen, an LCD screen, OLED, backlit, frontlit, rimlit, rim job, lick the finger, insert it to the first knuckle or whatnot, all right? Look, whenever it comes to modern panels, all right, it is very true that manufacturers will have a common acceptable threshold for dead pixels per panel, all right? Because it's going to happen, especially with the more modern panels that have the much higher pixel density with a 4K screen or something like that. Guess what? With most 4K screens, especially if you have a 4K screen that's like 40 inches big, all right, it can have hundreds of dead pixels, but you're not ever going to be able to fucking tell because the pixel density per inch is so fucking packed together that you're not going to be able to see it, all right? Now, if you have like a cluster of fucking pixels that are dead all in one space, then you really can't get away from that. One of the reasons why that threshold has been set up by QA is because a lot of those dead pixels are going to end up on the edge of the screen close to where the bezel is, and you're not going to see it anyways, right? Guess what? Most of you guys who have those picture-perfect TVs, if you were to peel away those bezels, you'd start seeing dead pixels, all right? Most of the reason why is because guess what? The action of pressing the bezel onto your fucking panel is going to kill some of those pixels, all right? But yeah, that right there is actually one of the ones that are probably a little bit more, I'd have to say, substantial and valid as far as some of the other ones. You know, the dock itself,
this is about the console itself.
Yeah, you know, the dock itself, it is in dire need of a redesign. They can the seating feature for the dock, for it to actually sit there and hit the port to go ahead and seat up to the USB-C and everything else can be redone. They could have they don't even have to line all of the inside of the dock with like soft foam or felt. They could have just done the corners, and that could have probably went ahead and prevented the people who are reporting scratch screens and stuff like that from placing in the dock. But guess what? If you're placing it in the dock like this, where you're sliding it in against the thing, fuck you, all right? You're retarded, okay? You might as well take a fucking cheese grater to it, okay? Seriously.
I was going to say the exact same thing. I think that's where a lot of problems coming, because people are not, people keep forgetting that this console and all electronics are a sophisticated device. You can't.
If they were sliding it in the other way from the back end, that's fine. Guess what? This shit can scratch up. That's not going to be a big issue. But they're doing it the other way. All right. I don't know why. Maybe they think it's like a fucking toaster oven. Guess what? It doesn't have a pop-o-matic fucking lever on it. I don't know. Maybe I'm being really critical for being critical's sake, but seriously, I understand there are things that they can do about the dock, okay, that'll make things different. And I think it's really, really easy stuff that they can go ahead and do that's not going to increase their costs as far as manufacturing goes. Like I said, not even putting foam on the whole thing, just on the corners where it's actually going to make more likely to make contact with the screen. Would do wonders.
In all actuality, I think it needs a complete redesign, to be quite honest. One, it's really cheaply made. I understand why, because you're mass producing it. Like you said, you have to actually kind of press it kind of hard in the center in order to set it.
The Switch Mini.
And
it's coming.
On the back side of it, you know, they could have done a little bit better with the USB port and whatnot. I think they could have done that a little bit better. But I mean, those are real critical. I mean, those are, like I said, real critical complaints that are real. You know.
Yeah, a lot of them are valid. You know, but generally speaking, I would have to say, you know, for $300 for this particular machine right here, to be able to go ahead and give you a full home console experience out of this little small machine. All right. Like I said, there are folks out there who are saying that it should have only cost $200 and it should have included a game and blowjob. All right. In which case, I got to ask you guys, find me the chick who's going to blow you for $200. All right.
It's called,
you know,
in Thailand and Hong Kong.
Oh, it's called Craigslist, really. But that's another issue altogether. But look, for what it is, I'd have to say that this is a great device. You know.
Now, wait a minute. That costs less than iPads and shit like that. This is a console.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's going to be able to play video games. You can take it portable. You can put it at home. You can hook it up to your fucking TV. All that shit. And if they come out with the same programs that these tablets have anyway, fuck, this instantly turns it into a fucking tablet.
One more criticism I have of the Switch is paying $50 for a 1-2 Switch. That should be a pack-in game. I didn't buy it, but I'm just saying there's a lot of people that have valid points that the game is not. It's more like, it's like WarioWare, but it's not.
It should have been $20 at most, probably.
It should have been $20, or it should have been a pack-in.
Wait a minute, people were just getting this for the fucking Zelda.
Yeah, people are buying the system just for Zelda. That's the bottom line.
But your point still stands.
That 1, 2, 3 Switch fucking sucks.
Yeah, but again, your point.
It should be a pack-in game with the system. I'm just saying. And that's valid criticism. And, you know, again, I have to say this again, every fucking video, just to drive the point home, we're not fanboys. We criticize Nintendo.
Yes, we are.
We criticize Sony. We criticize
No.
Don't come forward.
No, we're fanboys to video games.
Don't come.
Good games.
Don't come forward and say, "Oh, you guys are on Nintendo's dick. You guys are on Sony's dick. You guys are on Microsoft's dick."
Yeah, all of them.
Videos. You will find out that we criticize all three and third party. EA, I'm looking at you. Ubisoft. Konami. We criticize.
No, you're mentioning them as a gaming company. Fuck that.
That's what I said. Third party. But look, we criticize everything. So
nothing is above scrutiny.
Yeah.
No, it just irks me that people say, "Oh, you guys are fanboys. You guys are on Sony's dick. You guys are on Microsoft."
Look in front of Gray Mouse right now. Now, look, all those may be Nintendo consoles, but I guarantee you over to his left and behind him, you'll see more shit there.
Yep. Including the plastic women who are scantily clad.
Hey.
But to bring it back to this particular device right here, like I said, very successful launch for the Switch. What came with a lot of anticipation and hype also brought a lot of backlash and criticisms. A fair amount of it, but a fair amount of it, I will say realistically, a fair amount of it valid, but a lot of stuff not valid. Okay, I'm just going to say that right now.
Criticizing the game without even laying your hands on it or playing it, that's not.
Criticizing the console without laying hands on it.
That's why I left the floor open for you guys to comment about the console itself and the game, because I don't fucking own it. All I can say is that I'm interested, and that's why I want your guys' opinion that have the fucking console, that have the games. We would like to hear from you. I would like to hear from you because I would like some valid criticism.
The Nintendo Switch is not perfect. It's not.
What system is?
Now, perfect.
Yeah.
Come on.
And that is a very valid thing. Like I said, it's not without its faults, but I would say that, the type of success that it has seen from what I've experienced firsthand is not without merit. Okay.
It deserves it.
And look, if you can sit there and downvote this video or leave mean comments all you want. In fact, I kind of encourage that because at least it lets me know that somebody's actually watching this thing. All right. You can go ahead and do that all you want. But the truth of the matter is that as far as this goes, this is going to be something else that's not. If it doesn't revolutionize or completely change the landscape of the industry, it's going to expand it out a lot further than a lot of people would have even imagined. Okay. But enough about us rambling on about that. What are your thoughts on this? What are your thoughts on the reception of the Switch, the backlash that Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild has taken? Are these criticisms and are these issues valid? In my view, a lot of them are, and a lot of the other ones are complete bullshit. All right. We want to hear that. Leave us your comments below, and while you are at it, hit like, hit subscribe. Every time you leave a comment, it's the beginning of a brand new conversation, and with every good conversation, it doesn't matter if you agree or disagree, as long as you stop, take a moment to think about what we're actually saying, then we've accomplished a lot more than you could ever think of. We are the middle-aged guys, and our bullshit about the critical reception for the Switch after launch ends here. I am the Reverend.
The theme here.
Grandmouse 1.
Once again for the benefit. Once again for the benefits of common sense, logic, and gaming. Criticism without playing shit. Damn shame. Credits.